Well, I'm Larry Weep, but I have less hair now than I did when you folks probably saw me last. So our years at Bellefontaine was 59-60 to 65. And directed the choirs and orchestra while we were there. And our first big musical was the Oklahoma, which I think this class was key in doing that particular musical. So I remember we started with a few single acts before we got into the big musicals, and followed then Oklahoma with South Pacific the following year. Had a good time at Bellefontaine, a lot of good people, and I'm sure you folks who are celebrating this 50th anniversary never dreamed that someday you'd be getting together doing 50 years and being grandpas and grandmas. It'd been nice to see. At this point, you know, when you're looking back 50 years, all the classes, they all run together. And so it's hard to say, when you come to class of 62, to which one that really was and who the people were. It's when Joe Shiveley said that he still had his Carmen Wafon pen, and that Oklahoma was a musical that I was able to go back through and say, oh, in my mind, Oklahoma, and I remembered, then begin to remember the cast, and that was a part of that. So we sort of categorized them as by the musicals we did. Well, the band room at that time was on the north end of the building, ground level, and you went down from the outside 4 steps to get into it, and the orchestra met there. Choir met in the auditorium, and we kept the choir rooms over there. The auditorium was a really nice auditorium. It seated about 800 and built like a Shakespearean theater or an Italian type theater with pillars and arches. A very small stage, so a big challenge for doing Oklahoma and the musicals that followed it. But had a nice sound to it. It was masonry, and so it sang well, as I remember.
Able to do Christian things. I mean, for
Back in
the
those
Easter.
days, I was going through some pictures here, trying to come up with who the people were in the class and the different things. I don't really have any of this that I know. I got a lot of pictures of that groups, but they're not dated, so I don't know which ones are 62 and 63 and 64. But I noticed in those days we were able to do Easter assemblies, and we had choir shaped in a cross on the stage, and a lily cross hanging above us that we were able to do. And at some point, one of those years, we did a sort of a musical passion type operetta, I guess you would say. It only lasted about 5 minutes, but we did it for an assembly, and then had a chance to go up to Lakeside and do it again for that group up there. Times have changed a lot in our school system since those days. Well, there's lots of memories. We sit here and just go on and on. It's hard to put them down as to 62 or 63 because they all roll together as to some of the experiences that we had there. I remember on the Oklahoma set, we sold that set to, can't remember which high school. I thought the other day, which one. Some high school liked our set, so they bought it from us. Came down.
It really looks pretty poor now when we look at it.
After looking at the pictures, I'm not quite sure why they bought it, but they did. And I remember a couple of our lead cast members actually sat down on stage and cried when the set went out the door, because that's been home for them for so long that they were very sad to see the actual house go out the door. One of the funny things that happened that probably nobody in the audience here remembers or even knew about, but I like realism as much as possible in the shows. And so I'd gone out to the local gun store and got handguns for all the cowboys. You couldn't begin to do that now. But I did, and they gave me a suitcase full of guns, all calibers. So that was, on stage, and we made a lot of racket, a lot of noise on the Bellefontaine of Oklahoma. We took them home and kept them in our house for safety. And that one of those nights during the run of the show, we had left the storm door unlocked on our house and got a big wind, and someplace through the night that storm door got blown open and shattered all the glass. Well, my wife Pat was sure that somebody was breaking in to steal those guns, and we came out of there scared to death as to why in the world the glass was all broken and had all those guns in the house there that were all borrowed. Hope that all of you have just a wonderful time renewing friendships and old times, and remembering all the good times, forgetting all the bad times, and just enjoy each other's company. You'll come home and say, gee, that person really looks old. They've all changed, I didn't. Best to all of you. Thank you for the opportunity.